Welcome to the Dollhouse, my friends. I am so happy to see you all today. I have been patiently watching as the Dollhouse slowly starts to fill up a little bit. I've been seeing the Mew bubbles pop up thanks to the lovely M taking care of us through VLM. Um, I'm so happy to see you all here for another episode of Beyond the NFT. For anyone attending tonight's show for the first time, my name is Sinful and I am your host. Beyond the NFT is currently streaming to multiple streaming platforms such as Kick, Twitch, YouTube, X, and Decentraland. If you have the means, please tune in. Let's get the viewer count up. Let's show the world that we are here tonight. And also, make sure to drop some follows. My current goal is to reach 75 followers on Kick. We are currently at lucky 69. So yeah, drop in, drop a follow, as well as even some hearts. Would love to see you there. I am SinfulMeatStick on all platforms. I also want to take a moment to show some love to everyone here at the Dollhouse. Um, you're always, I always see a lot of you here week in and week out, and, always supporting and always looking good while you're doing it. Big shout out to On the Rise. I see Lovely 17 has popped in. Metal Wolf is in the back over there. Mean Green Doge. We got Crazy Lag in the building as well. Toxic Waifu. Uh, quite a bit of you have snuck in. Well, since my last shout out, I see DCL Chess. We have Kai over there, the legendary Cat 5. I saw Blease. Oh, there's Blease over there, looking good, dancing on the couches. Don't let Mama Tang see you dancing on the couches, bro. On that note, we're gearing up for an awesome episode tonight. Tonight's episode is about wallet safety and quote unquote not raw dogging Web3. Tonight's
That's
guest.
correct.
You're like, ooh, hell yeah, that's correct. Tonight's guest is a Decentraland OG, cybersecurity specialist, and partnership director at Wallet Guard. It is a pleasure to introduce Michael K to the stage.
Greatly appreciate the community for showing up. Thank you, Sinful, for hosting this through Beyond the NFT. Legend, this is really a very beneficial space, and I can't wait to drop some security alpha so people could stay safe and we could protect our crypto.
Most definitely. I mean, we're here in this space, in this new space. Like, Web3 is just so new to human history that like there haven't been any guidelines, any really like cybersecurity like experts coming into the space and really like creating something. So, well, I mean, besides who we're about to talk about tonight. So it is a great pleasure having you today. I usually like to pass the mic over to my guests and allow them to give themselves a proper introduction, as well as even make any shout outs to any homies you see in the crowd.
Yeah. Big shout out to Stony, Category 5. I see. What am I going to name everybody here? We got everybody on. Everybody's in the building right now. So it's awesome to be here chilling with you guys. I've been pretty much in the metaverse for the past 3 years. I actually hated NFTs when I first started, but my first interaction was actually in Decentraland. So super excited to talk to you guys about that as well.
Yeah, very happy. And I guess, I mean, on that note, we can sort of begin. Let's start off with baby Michael in the metaverse. How did you first get
Sure.
into Decentraland?
Yeah, so about the end of 2019, I actually ended up buying a bunch of mana and the price of it started, skyrocketing. So I actually started to like go down the rabbit hole of like, what is mana? What is Decentraland? And I ended up running into the Decentraland Reddit. And on the Reddit, I'm sure you all know Peanut Butter. He had posted a YouTube video talking about how to jump into Decentraland. So I watched the video and he was talking about you don't need a wallet, you could just play as a guest. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't got to install anything. So I just go to the browser, go to the website, jump right into Decentraland. And as soon as I jumped in, Zeta, I'm sure a lot of you know Zeta, ran across my screen and he's like, hey, what's good? What are you doing here? Come check out my land. And I'm like, what do you mean check out your land? Like, none of this makes sense to me. I actually hated NFTs
Hmm.
at that point in time because I was in IT, I was in the computer field, and I didn't understand what NFTs were. So it was just like fear of the unknown at that point. And he's like, yeah, come check out my land. So he had me teleport to his building and he showed me the entire setup that he had. And he's like, yeah, I'm a photographer. I have my work up here on the walls. These are my NFTs. And it started to click for me. And I was like, wow, okay, so this is your work, and it's actually something that people could own. And as we're talking about this, Peanut Butter walks into his building, and I'm like, hold on a second, like this is definitely a simulation. Like I was just watching you on YouTube. How are you like walking into this building of something that I just jumped into? Like it blew my mind. So that night they actually showed me everything about OpenSea, everything about MetaMask, and they showed me about how to create a wallet. And that's how I started going down that rabbit hole. I grabbed one of Zeta's NFTs. I grabbed my first deed in Decentraland, and from there on, it was just like a dream.
Hmm.
Making different scenes, doing parties for different NFT communities, Apes 3D, Rebel Bots, Board Comedy Club. There's been so many events that we've done. Big shout out to Category 5 for DJing almost all those events with me. He's just a legend when it comes to the metaverse and music and stuff like that. So it was crazy to think that you could monetize an NFT, that you could actually create a business from scratch by just owning a digital asset.
Hmm.
And one of the biggest events that we did, I actually went from one parcel to 50 parcels. I was able to scale from a single parcel to 50 parcels by just throwing events and basically, monetizing that NFT. So one of the biggest events that we did was last year for pay-per-view and DAZN, and it was like a live metaverse fight. It was a token gated stream, and that was like the biggest client that I ever had in the metaverse. So to think, 3 years ago I hated NFTs, and 3 years later I'm doing an event for pay-per-view. It was just mind blowing. So it's really a dream come true.
That is a dream come true. Wow. Kind of a follow-up question on that event specifically. I did see that Bucktown MMA just walked into Dollhouse. He is Jay from Bucktown. He is an ex-professional fighter as well as an instructor. And kind of like it gets me wondering to like as far as like getting a pay-per-view fight to stream into the metaverse, into Decentraland, were there any like specific steps that you had to take, like whether it be like getting permissions from somewhere or or was it kind of like just like a buy the pay-per-view and stream it?
No, that's illegal. You can't just buy a pay-per-view stream and stream it to other people. So this was actually something that we had, an agreement with pay-per-view, an agreement with the zone, an actual formal contract in order to bring their stream into the Decentraland and have it token gated for users so that this way it wasn't being distributed for free and it
Hmm.
was still under the guidelines of pay-per-view streams. So that's something that I would not advise other people go and just like rip content like that. That's not what we did. We actually had all of the licensing fully vetted directly from pay-per-view in order to make that happen.
That is awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, thank you for sharing. Um, let's see. So coming into Decentraland, you had mentioned you met Zeta, you met PB. Man, I remember the first time I met PB. I had just finished watching a video on how to improve my performance for Decentraland, and I gotta say, watching that video was literally what saved my Decentraland experience because before that, I was lagging at like 2 frames per second or 2 frames per hour, and yeah, just trying to enjoy the metaverse. I thought the lagginess came with the experience until PB came along, and then to kind of like see him walk by me at Wonder Zone, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's like running into a celebrity, man. It was insane. I think it's such a different feeling, over time. There's so much has changed, right? So much has been added, and there's new members and there's different features and stuff like that. So shout out to Peanut Butter for always keeping up with it and helping onboard people into the space. It wouldn't have been something that I even tried to jump into if I didn't see his YouTube video 3 years ago. Just imagine how different my life would have been if I never jumped into Decentraland that day. Just
Hmm.
mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah, even me. Like, what if I never learned about my browser hardware acceleration? I probably would have dropped Decentraland. Who knows what would have happened? Like, so gotta give some love to the
Exactly.
legends. um,
Yeah, yeah. Big shout out to the Last Slice crew as well, Lastrum, everybody from, we had Nicole and Kirzaz and everybody over the years. It was just like, I met a bunch of them in real life. We actually ended up going to a bunch of conferences together and vibing. So CK Bubbles as well. I see a bunch of people that I've met in person here uh, inside of the Central End right now. So big shout out to everybody. It's just been amazing knowing everyone. It's always good vibes.
definitely. I always say our community is undefeated over here. No one change my mind. um,
Yeah.
so like coming into Decentraland, what captivated you and made you want to use the platform at the time?
Yeah, the idea for me was like I actually own this land and I can put whatever I want on it and it exists on the blockchain, right? When it comes down to the fact that it's an NFT. So that was mind blowing to me because, over the years playing video games, buying different skins and upgrades, like eventually those games turn off and then all your investments go away. So also it's very hard to monetize inside of somebody else's game. Well, Decentraland is my game. It's your game. We can do whatever we want in it. And that's really what was like the changing factor for me. Hey, let's create experiences. Instead of just putting NFTs up on a wall, let's actually create some gamification. Let's throw concerts, live streams, do giveaways, make it engaging. This is something that you just can't do in the confines and the guardrails of other web 2 games. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really what stood out to me is creating something from scratch and having the entire world be able to see it without having to really buy anything else, right? You don't have to buy the game. You could jump into Decentraland with just a browser.
Mm-hmm.
So there was so many different points of it that just stood out to me when it came down to like the ease of use and the ability to create anything you want to create.
Definitely. And so, fast forward to today, what do you think about the current development, or what has been developed since you first entered Decentraland? And do you have any favorite features?
Yeah, I think look, there's been a bunch that has changed since 2019. Obviously, they've made the even graphics better, right? Even before 2019, it looked like almost a child's drawing. So it's gone a very long way, and I think that if this is the track that we're on, just imagine what it's going to look like in 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. So it's exciting to be in the space and also to see all the new features they're constantly adding. I'm excited for hopefully more native VR implementation. I think that's going to be a big thing, especially now that VR headsets are getting more powerful. You got the Apple Vision headset. Hopefully, that's going to open up some doors when it comes to being able to be interoperable with metaverses.
Hmm.
So I think there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline that I'm excited for.
There's definitely a lot of potential with VR, for sure. Rustan has been trying to get me on Horizon World. I'm over here like being like asking him like, can I join on my desktop, please? Because I don't have a VR yet, but soon I will. I will soon.
Right, right. Yeah. I think it's like one of the biggest limitations was people's hardware, right? Because you do need a decent computer in order to jump into Decentraland.
Hmm.
So I think that as hardware gets better over time and they continue, upgrading the game and making it more optimized, I think it's just gonna, get better when it comes to user adoption. Hopefully. Hopefully.
That is my hope as well. Um, I guess hmm, I guess this is a good time to kind of segue into, I guess we can call it the main portion of tonight's show, Wallet Guard. What is Wallet
Yes.
Guard?
Yeah, definitely. Great question. So Wallet Guard was made to protect your crypto. We've created tools and educational resources so that when we came into Web3, we were all shooting in the dark. There were no right answers, there were no right resources, and everyone kind of piecemealed information together. So with Wallet Guard, not only are we an amazing onboarding tool, but we also help people protect their assets, even if they've been here for multiple years. So we have a bunch of different tools that if I could share my screen, I'd love to
Oh,
give a little breakdown on.
yep. All right, I just stopped streaming and I'll get it all set up here in just a moment.
Awesome. I just shared my screen there.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty.
All right. Let me know if I'm good to go there.
I will in just a second. I'm having trouble making it full screen for some reason. Yeah, maybe I can.
Maybe the aspect ratio or something.
Yeah, maybe I can just do this.
Looks fine for me in Decentraland. Just two bars at the top and bottom, which is fine.
Oh, yeah, that one is my screen still. Here,
Okay.
Discord. Alrighty, there we go.
All right, awesome. So everything I'm going to speak about is all on one place, walletguard.app. We really try to make it easy when it comes to putting not only the tools, but the educational resources together. So the main product that we have is our browser extension. And this is available for Chrome-based browsers currently. So if you have Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Opera, Brave, any Chromium-based browser, it installs within seconds and starts working immediately. It's also completely free and open source. We really want to be as transparent as possible so that users know exactly what they're installing, and the fact that we don't have the ability to move your assets. We don't have the ability to make decisions for you. We're not a wallet. We're not an NFT. We're not a token. You don't have to change anything you're doing in order to use Wallet Guard. It works with your existing wallet. It works with your current browser setup, and it just adds a layer of security in between. So a couple of different things that we're doing. So we're actually showing you if you're going to be on the correct website. So we do phishing detection. We let you know if there's a wallet drainer before you even enter a website, have to connect your wallet, or have to run a simulation. We're telling the user and doing all that work in the background to warn you before you even have to open up your wallet. I don't know of any other security tool that's that proactive when it comes down to confirming that you're actually on Decentraland, that you're actually on OpenSea, or you're on Uniswap. All of these main sites that people are using, or even other sites that people try to, spin up fake websites around. So that first layer of defense is that we're checking to make sure that you're actually on the correct Web3 dApp. And if you're not, we're stopping it, just like we're stopping a wallet drainer before it even touches your wallet. The next layer of defense is we have transaction simulation. So we're showing the user swaps, claims, mints, signatures, any interaction in their wallet before it happens in plain English. So you'll see exactly what's going in and out of your wallet. You'll see if that it's not really a free mint, it's a wallet drainer before you hand it off to your ledger, before you hand it off to your MetaMask or your Phantom or whatever you choose to use. So making Web3 human readable is what we believe is the missing layer for onboarding the masses. Instead of just seeing a gas fee, you're going to see all the interactions in one clean interface. Why wouldn't you want that, right? It's just literally a no-brainer. And we love working with communities as well. So we do wallet safety sessions like the one we're doing with you guys right now, and they're all completely free, just like our extension. So I'll give you an example of how easy it is to install Wallet Guard. I've actually uninstalled it in this browser session, and I'm going to reinstall it right now so you can see how easy it is to turn on the security layer for whatever wallet it is that you're using. So you go to our website, walletguard.app, you click add to browser. Big shout out, by the way, to our users. We started off 2023 with 5,000 users, and we're about to pass 80,000 users with over 100,000 wallets protected and over $40 million saved from scams. That's $40 million that scammers didn't get because Wallet Guard exists. So check it out. All we're going to do is we're going to add it to our browser. And within a couple of seconds, it's installed and ready to go. That's it. You now have human readable transactions, human readable signatures, claims, swaps, and mints are broken down into plain English for you, no matter what wallet you're using and how your setup is. That's how simple it is to secure your crypto. We can't make it any easier. We also have multiple parts to Wallet Guard. So the transaction simulation and phishing detection is natively enabled once you install the extension, but we also have our security dashboard. And I'm going to show you that right now. So the security dashboard lets you scan your wallets and improve your wallet health. I'm going to go ahead and connect my wallet. I'm going to verify it.
And it is through the dashboard where you make the link, correct? Between the wallet and Wallet Guard.
If you want to scan your wallet for wallet health, you would do that in the dashboard, correct?
Okay.
Once I can figure out this freaking CAPTCHA, that'll be great.
I couldn't help you
Traffic
there.
light,
I'm
a little
always
sliver.
I'm always defeated by these.
Yeah. So before I actually hit verify wallet, I want to change the screen share to what our signature UI looks like. So this is what our signatures look like before you open signatures in your preferred wallet. Notice how we're confirming the account we're using. We're confirming that we're actually on a legitimate website. We're about to sign something on something that's verified by Wallet Guard so we can do it safely. And it's also showing us in plain English what exactly this signature is doing. So now I'm going to hit continue. Let me change my share back up to the full screen.
Mhm.
So I'm going to hit continue on that, and I'm going to sign it in my MetaMask. And once I do that, I can now run a scan. What this is going to do is it's going to scan my wallet for high-risk approvals. It's going to show me all my assets at risk if there are any. It's going to show me any honeypots that might be in my wallet that I shouldn't be interacting with, as well as keeping my browser extensions up to date. It's literally giving us a health score based on every metric related to security in our preferred wallet. So thankfully, in this wallet, I've already revoked all my open approvals, and I've already taken care of any other metrics. So I have a solid 98% health score. But if we take a look, we have multiple areas here on open approvals, which of course there are none because I keep my wallet clean.
Mhm.
Any malicious transactions we might have interacted with, as well as any honeypots. And it also, in this case, that extra 2% that we could squeeze out of that score is because our Phantom wallet is out of date.
Mm.
Wallet Guard lets you know if any of the wallets you're using are out of date. This is super important because your browser is not automatically updating your wallet extensions. That happens on a scheduled task or maybe once a week. It's important to install updates for your wallet extensions because they patch security issues. So what Wallet Guard is going to do, along with letting you know of your open approvals, it's also going to let you know of any of your extensions being out of date when it comes to your wallets. And it also guides you through how to update them and force them to be updated at that moment in time. So the security score really gives you a full breakdown on all of the metrics related to the health of your wallet in one clean interface. The other great part about the security dashboard is that we also have a dApp store. So the dApp store is a collection of official links to places that we are actively using. So think about this. Let's say you're talking with your friends about crypto and you mention MetaMask, you mention OpenSea, you mention all these different dApps and wallet providers. They might go the next day, they might go home and try to figure it out themselves. They don't know the official website for MetaMask. They don't know the official website for OpenSea. So generally what ends up happening is they go to Google, they type install MetaMask, and they end up installing something that is malware, that is a Trojan, that's not really MetaMask. And they end up rugging themselves, scamming themselves before they even got into crypto. And then they're going to look at crypto in its entirety as a scam. So instead of having them run off into the wild and try to figure it out themselves, have them install Wallet Guard. It's going to show them how to create their first wallets, It's also going to point them to all the official links. So let's say they're looking for a wallet provider. They jump into the dApp store, they select the wallet tag, and here's all the official repos and downloads for all of the wallets that we're familiar with, so that they don't end up clicking on the wrong thing. So it's also a great onboarding tool at the same time. And we always have different initiatives to basically onboard people. So about a month and a half ago, we did a collaborative mint with Neon Cat, and Wallet Guard paid for everybody's gas. Wallet Guard paid for everybody's mints, and we helped onboard over 40,000 people. There was 90,000 NFTs minted for zero cost to the user, because Wallet Guard not only showed you how to keep your wallet safe, but let you claim a legendary NFT from a legendary artist. So we're always doing these initiatives. And actually, we're running another initiative right now. If you run a scan, you actually can refer your friends and you could win a kid called Beast. We're actually picking the winner in 2 days on our weekly security space that we hold every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So not only are you improving your wallet health, but you're being entered to win a legendary NFT. And we're doing this every single month with a different project. So again, a win-win. It's open source, installs in seconds, starts working immediately, helps you secure your wallet assets, and also enters you into giveaways for legendary NFTs where the cost to you is $0.
That is awesome. And when is that space where the giveaway winners will be announced?
Yeah, that's every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. We have our weekly security space with Wallet Guard, and we're going to be announcing the winner of the Kid Called Beast this Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you jump into and follow us on Twitter. So we've actually gotten over 50,000 followers on Twitter by giving out security alpha, by providing free information on how people can secure their assets. So if you're not following us yet, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but we try to make it we try to make it super easy. So there's tons of different security tips that we're giving out, examples that people are posting about Wallet Guard in action and how it's helping them stop their wallets from being drained. Just making it super easy. We're partnered with MetaMask, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about.
Yep.
But yeah, we even just put pudgies directly into Wallet Guard. So they're in the loading animation. Whenever you're running a simulation, you'll see a pudgy or a Bored Ape. We're gonna have more projects coming into that loading animation soon as well.
That's dope.
So definitely follow us, because the last thing we're gonna do is show you some NFT or tell you to buy something. What we are gonna do is give you unlimited value when it comes to protecting your assets. So definitely check us every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern for our weekly security space.
I will be there. That's for sure. I'm writing it in my calendar right now.
Let's go. But yeah, we're trying to just make it again super easy. So let me show you, before we move on to the MetaMask side of things. I want to show you an example of Wallet Guard in action. So we're going to do this on a traditional website that we all use, OpenSea. And I'm going to go to one of my favorite collections here, Nihilings.
Nihilings, big shout
And
out.
big shout out to Nihilings. And I'm going to give an example of how Wallet Guard works whenever you're about to perform a transaction. So I'm going to hit buy now on this Nihiling. And let me switch my screen over for you guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. So I'm going to hit buy now on this Nihiling. And let me switch to the transaction simulation window. And this is what it's going to look like before your wallet of choice opens. So usually in MetaMask, you're seeing just a gas fee. What Wallet Guard is going to show you before you open your MetaMask is the chain that you're on, the website that you're on, confirming that you're actually on the real OpenSea. Yes, it could be the middle of the night and you're not paying attention and you're on something that looks like OpenSea and it's really not, and you end up rugging yourself. So we're actually confirming live in Wallet Guard that you're on the right website. We're also confirming that you're using the right contract, that it's verified on Etherscan. We're also showing you the estimated gas fee, which is usually the only thing you would see in your preferred wallet. We're also showing you the exact assets that you're sending. as well as their values, and the exact assets that you're receiving, as well as their values and their floor price on OpenSea,
Mhm.
in this case, because it's an NFT. So notice how there's about 5 to 6 different pieces of information that you're not going to see in your preferred wallet. And that's how we can show the user exactly what's going to happen before it happens. Now, the other great part about our tool is that we built AI directly into simulations. This is another thing that I do not see any other security tool doing. So let's pretend you have a question about your transaction, your signature, your mint, your claim, whatever it is that you're doing in your wallet. We have a tab called Ask Chat Web 3. Chat Web 3 is our AI tool. And what I'm going to ask Chat Web 3 is I'm going to tell it to explain this transaction to me. And what it's going to do is it's going to look at on-chain metrics, and it's going to break down all those metrics into plain English for me so that I can learn about the transaction that I'm about to interact with before I end up handing it off to my preferred wallet. This is how we can teach people about interactions in their wallets and also break it down even further. We support over 90 languages and multiple levels of context. So we could say, now explain that in Spanish, like I'm 5 years old. So what our AI, the WalletGuard AI model is going to do is it's going to look at on-chain information about the transaction we're about to perform with the Nihiling NFT. It's going to break it down into the context of a 5-year-old, and then it's going to convert it into Spanish so that the user understands what's happening.
This is dope, and this is kind of like build with AI.
Yeah, so we've made 5 custom plugins on top of ChatGPT that are able to look at on-chain data and guardrail the information based around DeFi and NFTs.
What a valuable way to use a tool like AI. Definitely, I mean, definitely a good way to use it for good.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, I'm at the point where I just want to scream about this stuff from the mountaintops, but people just don't know what Wallet Guard is until they actually take the 1 second to install it.
Mm.
And this is the problem: is that security is usually an afterthought. No one cares about getting their wallet drained until they get their wallet drained. So why not avoid that and be proactive with your security and take the 2 seconds to grab the Wallet Guard browser extension? And let's say that you say to yourself, well, I don't want to install a browser extension. No problem. Let's move on to our next product. Give me 1 second while I switch the screen.
Yep, yep. And also, big shout out to Dr. Green Thumb. I saw him pop in. And also,
Let's go, Doc.
we have a kid called Make in the building. I've been seeing you in Twitch chat and Kick chat as well, Make.
Big shout out to Dr. Green Thumb, all the people joining in. Thank you for your time today. Guarantee you it's going to be worth it. So we've done a breakdown on the Wallet Guard browser extension. Again, it's free, it's open source. We have almost 80,000 users currently using it. We've saved users tens of millions of dollars, and it takes seconds to turn on and starts working immediately. So we broke that down. We showed you guys the security dashboard. We've showed you guys the transaction simulation. We've showed you the AI tool breaking down transactions into plain English. So let's say that you say to yourself, well, I don't want to install a browser extension. No problem. Turn us on directly inside of your MetaMask. You can get human readable transactions directly in your MetaMask because we're partnered with MetaMask, and we have a snap. We're one of the launch partners, and we're the #1 transaction simulation snap. So literally, you could see in plain English what's going in and out of your wallet, more than just a gas fee. You could also get access to that same security dashboard that I showed you that's in the browser extension. And it literally takes seconds to turn it on in your MetaMask. There's literally no more excuses for people to lose their assets.
You hear that, everyone? No excuses.
Literally no excuses, bro. Like, I don't even know how to. I'm like beating a dead horse over here.
Get Wallet Guard today.
That's right. So the extension, the MetaMask Snap, they're both open source. So you can actually check our repos on GitHub. We have a direct developer pipeline to the Chrome store and the MetaMask Snap directory. So users know exactly what they're installing. There's a lot of security tools out there that claim that they're open source. But if you take a look at their repos, they haven't updated their repos in months. So we believe in transparency, and I think that's how we're getting to the point where we're about to reach 100,000 users that we're successfully protecting. So whether it's the browser extension or the snap, I highly recommend even doing both. That's multiple layers of security before you manage to rug yourself on something that you can't read, like a signature or something like a hex code, or the fact that we can't all expect to learn Solidity, let alone the people that we're onboarding into crypto to have to learn all that as well. So might as well put Wallet Guard on there so you don't get the phone call the next day where they're saying, I thought it was a free mint, all my NFTs are gone. This is the exact reason why we created Wallet Guard. Now, the other free resource that we have in Wallet Guard is the Wallet Guard Academy. So the Wallet Guard Academy is where we did all the research for you. We show you what antivirus to use, what password manager to implement, how to set up your wallets, how to update them, what are on-chain approvals, what to do if your wallet gets drained, God forbid. Think about all the emotions
Mm-hmm.
running through your head in case you were to get drained. Well, guess what? I made an article that tells you exactly how to figure out how it happened, exactly how to perform a security audit, how to report the incident to multiple authorities, and what to do after the fact. If you haven't bookmarked Wallet Guard yet, again, I don't know what you're doing. So the Wallet Guard Academy is another free resource that we have, just like the extension, just like the Snap, just like the security dashboard, where we're just trying to give people information on how to protect their crypto.
And that is walletguard.app, correct?
Correct. Everything is available, walletguard.app. It's all in one place. We're actually going to be launching our brand new website over the next few days. So this is going to look completely different, but it's going to have the same exact content and the same references. We're just making it more mobile friendly and easier to digest. So just trying to keep it simple.
I mean, that's like one thing that I've been very impressed about with regarding Wallet Guard. How seamless it seems to be to get it going. Go to walletguard.app and just get started from there on the top right of your screen, and yeah, then follow up with connecting to the dashboard and checking your wallet safety rating. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, your wallet health essentially. But again, you don't even have to connect to us or sign a signature in order to get phishing detection, in order to get wallet drainer kit detection, in order to get transaction simulation, to talk to our AI model. You literally don't have to do anything. You could just install the extension, and whenever you decide to perform anything, it's going to pop up first. Super simple. And I'm going to show you an example of a website that we actually caught today. And it was a fake NFT flooring website. I'm going to pull up the link real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So let's pretend you were going to go to a wallet drainer. So I don't recommend going to this website. I'm not going to read it out. But this is what it would look like if you were about to interact with something that you shouldn't be interacting with. Think about it. You don't even have to connect your wallet and run a simulation through another security app in order to see that it's a wallet drainer. We tell you straight up before you even enter the website that it's something you shouldn't be interacting with. We can't make it any easier.
Wow. And with this feature, are there like any false positives? Like how McAfee, your internet security service, like if you were to go into like a Web3 website, sometimes you get that like this website might be risky, sign. When let's say you already know the website and you know that it's not risky.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we actually have a very advanced machine learning model when it comes to our security engine that we built from scratch. So false positives are a thing in any product, but we're happy to report that our false positive ratio is very minimal. There's very rare the chance that we're going to mark something as harmful when it actually is not harmful.
Hmm.
If anything, we're just warning you that, hey, this is recently created, be careful.
Hmm.
Because a lot of these scam sites are spun up within a day and then taken offline. So the great part about Wallet Guard is that we're not a whitelist blacklist like other security products. Our machine learning model, our security engine, is actually able to detect scams within seconds of them going online. So it could be the middle of the night and a Twitter page gets SIM swapped and a fake website is spun up. Guess what? All the users of WalletGuard are going to be warned that it's malicious. It did not require us to add it to a blacklist. Our machine learning model and our security engine does that automatically. We're able to catch scams within seconds of them being created with zero touch, zero human input. So whether it is a compromised Discord, whether it is a SIM swapped Twitter page, whether it's a fake DM about a fake game or a fake interview, all of these scenarios are blocked by WalletGuard.
That is amazing. I do see a couple questions here. First
Yep.
question from Floating Spaces. What does it mean, the snap? So I guess what does snap mean or stand for?
Yeah, so MetaMask released their Snaps directory, and Snaps are like plugins for your MetaMask made by third parties. And those third parties have to be verified officially through MetaMask. So we're partnered with MetaMask and it allows us to bring WalletGuard directly into the MetaMask interface. So, for example, there's even third-party apps that allow you to transact Bitcoin inside of your MetaMask. So there's a lot of different chains and a lot of different people creating snaps to increase the functionality of MetaMask. And that's what snaps are. They're like apps for your it's like an app store for your MetaMask.
Okay. Thank you. And then two questions from One Exist. First question, when mobile app? And second question, how do you keep it free?
Yep. When mobile app is one of the most commonly asked questions. Currently, the security dashboard, which lets you scan your wallet and also revoke approvals and check for honeypots and all that good stuff, is already mobile friendly. You just go to dashboard.walletguard.app on your mobile device and you can improve your wallet health. Now, when it comes down to transaction simulation or wallet drainer kit detection, we are actively working on that for mobile. And the MetaMask Snap is also being actively worked on to be ported to mobile. So soon, you'll be able to enable WalletGuard inside of your mobile MetaMask. You'll be able to have a WalletGuard app that checks for wallet drainer kits when you're out and about and you're clicking on random links. So I would say within the next few weeks to a month, we're going to be launching that as well.
Nice, nice. I see a question on.
Oh, he said the second question was
Oh, yeah,
how is
sorry.
it free?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So as of right now, everything is open source. Everything is completely free. It's all set to unlimited use. What we're going to be doing over the next few months is we're going to be launching WalletGuard Pro. WalletGuard Pro is going to give those heavy users unlimited simulations, unlimited phishing detection, as well as other white glove services, so that we can keep our services online, but always remain free and open source for the sake of onboarding. And what we're also going to be doing is we're partnering with an antivirus company and a crypto insurance company. So we're going to have multiple packages with WalletGuard, where not only can you secure your Web3, but in the same place, you could also secure your Web2 and get a failsafe through a crypto insurance policy in case something goes wrong. We're really trying to streamline security for crypto by partnering up with an antivirus company and an insurance company that ties all of it together in one flat rate for the user, starting at $5 a month.
Oh
And
man.
again, you don't even have to use that. You can still use the free version and get away with, the daily degenning. So
Mm-hmm.
we're really trying to make this super accessible and super cost effective.
Nice. This is what I've been waiting for when it comes to like the Web3 security field. I'm really happy that WalletGuard is out here, trying to take care of everyone on in Web3.
Definitely.
Let's see. Okay, so I saw a question from Rustan. It was towards the beginning of today's episode. Not sure if it's wallet guard related, but it is definitely safety related. Maybe you can help him. He
Yep.
says, question about delegate.xyz. The permissions weird me out. Does it actually hold the NFTs for you, or just acknowledges that they're in your wallet? In the wallet that
Yeah.
holds them?
Yeah, so delegate and delegate.xyz and warm.xyz, which we also have in our dApp store, are basically services that let you set another wallet up for the ability to claim or to confirm that you are you without having to touch your actual assets. So when you're delegating another wallet address to your wallet, you're not actually directly interfacing with your wallet anytime you're proving that you own an NFT in that other wallet. So it's a great way to keep your assets safe because you're not directly interfacing with those assets. You're actually delegating those assets to be used in another wallet without that wallet actually holding those assets. So I use it all the time whenever I need to like claim that, like prove that I have a Bored Ape in order to get a whitelist or something like that. I have a delegate wallet set up for my Bored Ape. So even if something malicious tries to mess around with it, it can't because the Bored Ape is not sitting in the delegated wallet.
Alrighty, alrighty. I hope that answered helped you out, Rustan. I
So the answer for Rustan is yes. Delegate and Warm are both safe to use as long as you are on the official website. And again, we have those official links in the Wallet Guard dApp store in case you don't want to go do a Google search and wing it and try to figure out which one's the right link. Um,
Yeah,
but
can't say how powerful this dApp Store section of Wallet Guard is. Like personally myself, whenever when I receive a link from someone, and it's like towards either Nifty Island or some sort of let's say sushi swap or whatever it may be, I'm always like skeptical about it, and I'm always like kind of slightly doing my own research and trying to like type it out myself and find the right place, but Wallet Guard just has it here for you.
yeah, exactly. And we're continuously adding on features. We started off at the beginning of last year with just link checking. Think about that. We started
Mhm.
off the beginning of last year with one feature. Then we added wallet drainer kit detection, transaction simulation, chat Web3 AI model, the security dashboard, revoking approvals, the dApp store. Like we're literally taking this to the next level, guys. And I'm going to drop some alpha inside of this live stream. This is something that's unreleased that's coming soon. And this is alpha because we haven't publicly announced it. We're also about to launch soft locking inside of Wallet Guard. What soft locking will do is it allow you to soft lock any assets that you never want to sell or lose. And in case a wallet drainer kit attempts to even try to rip it out of your wallet, it can't because it's soft locked and guarded by Wallet Guard.
Okay.
This is another thing that we're doing to make sure that users know you don't have to constantly worry about clicking links. The point of the internet is to click on links.
Hmm.
So if we have the right tools and the right education with the academy, it's a massive win for everybody to share this information.
Yes, sir. Massive. And so the soft lock. Let's say you wanted to unlock the wallet. It would it be as complicated as if you were to lock your main MetaMask wallet? I know that there were people in the past that have locked their wallets thinking that they were getting drained, so they locked it through MetaMask, and then when they wanted to unlock it, they had to do some sort of like security check where they wanted to see. I think it's like your want to know your social or identify you in some major way.
So a couple of different things. There's a lot of misinformation with those statements. So
Okay.
locking your MetaMask wallet or disconnecting from a website if you're getting drained does nothing.
Okay.
Getting drained is an on-chain action. Locking your wallet and disconnecting from a website is local to your device. It means absolutely nothing.
Ouch.
So what Wallet Guard, yeah, it's a common misconception. It's a scary thing, and that's why in the security dashboard, check it out. Open approvals, right? We have a breakdown here directly in the Wallet Guard Academy explaining the difference between revoking an on-chain approval and disconnecting your wallet from a website. That could literally help save people their assets because they just think that locking their MetaMask is going to stop a wallet drain
Mhm.
or disconnecting from a fake site is going to stop their ability for them to lose their assets. That's not true. We need to have this information portrayed correctly. And if we're giving you all the metrics and we're showing you what's on chain that is at risk, this is how we could change that sentiment. This is how we could show people, hey, this is what you need to do because what you did nothing at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like sitting here like, ouch. So locking your MetaMask wallet, you're out. They still have access.
Yeah,
I
it does nothing. Generally, what ends up happening, and this is how wallet drainers generally work. Even if you have a hardware wallet like a Ledger or a Trezor, you are still affected. I've seen people try to give me the argument of, well, I have a Ledger, I don't need wallet card. Okay, good luck with that sentiment. Let's see what happened about a month ago. The NFT trader contract got exploited, and even people with Bored Apes and World of Women and very expensive NFTs sitting on their ledger got ripped out of their ledger or their Trezor or wherever the hell they had it saved because of on-chain approvals they forgot about. So what WalletGuard is doing is it's warning you right off the gate, like, hey, you have an on-chain approval for your Decentraland deed, and your value of $4,000 is at risk, and you did this approval a year and a half ago, and you're not using it, we highly recommend revoking it because if you don't, I'm going to explain what happens. If you interact with a malicious contract that sees that you have an open approval for, let's say, your deeds on OpenSea, what that malicious contract can do is it can list your deeds on OpenSea in a private sale for 0 Ethereum directly to the attacker's wallet. This is how majority of wallet drainers work. And this is how they're able to rip assets out of your wallet in seconds. It's because of on-chain approvals that you gave a contract that you forgot about in the past. So that's exactly what WalletGuard's doing at the same time. We're warning you and breaking down and telling you, you should revoke this. It's something that's putting these assets at risk.
Wow.
And if
Okay.
those people that were using WalletGuard last month had it, they would have never lost their apes, even though they were on a ledger, even they were using hardware wallets. You can have all the security in the world, but if you think it's not going to happen to you, that's not the right way to handle security.
Comment from one exist down there. Oh, fuck, that is awesome.
Yeah,
uh,
trying to make it trying to make it engaging.
I mean, definitely the space is very fortunate to have individuals such as yourself. We can tell you're passionate about wallet safety and your work within Web3. And so it definitely it's a good thing having you here to kind of explain everything and even provide examples of what has happened in the past and how having wallet if the individual had wallet guard, how that could have been prevented.
Yeah.
So how did you join the wallet guard team?
So yeah, that's it was actually pretty funny. So um, I was the CEO of an IT company for about 8 years. I was doing cybersecurity, website services, computer services, residential business, and stuff like that. I actually ended up exiting that company and I retired for like a 3 month period. I can tell you right now, like retiring is the most boring shit in the world, and I'm never retiring. Like you just don't want to do that. So my goal was to retire by the time I was 30, and I actually ended up doing it at 31. So I kind of missed it by a year, but either way, I exited Web 2 cybersecurity, and I actually ran into the guys at WalletGuard 2 years ago in a security space, their first WalletGuard security space, where they were seeing all of the scams happening, and they wanted to create something to stop it. So I jumped into that space, and I was also seeing all the scams happening, and I was like, hey, this is amazing that you guys are creating this. I want to be a part of this. So they made me a brand ambassador. So unpaid position. It just gave me the ability to represent WalletGuard and to recommend it to people. And 6 months into that, they actually said, hey, we want to give you a full-time position as partnership director. So it was a perfect transition for me, going from a Web 2 cybersecurity field to Web 3 cybersecurity, doing something that I'm actually passionate about. And we all actually ended up moving to one hacker house that we are currently living in right now for the past year to continue building out this application, putting in 20-hour days, 22-hour days to show you the products that we put together. I don't think you can get more bullish on a team that dropped everything they were doing and moved to one location to build out this vision and we're not even monetized yet. It's not about the money. It's about securing Web3. It's about making sure that when we see those DMs and we see those tweets where people are like, yo, this actually helped me, this saved my wallet, that's worth millions of dollars to us.
Hmm.
That's why we do this.
Beautiful. Let's see. Floating Spaces says Michael sounds so passionate. It it's like you just want to follow his lead, and then they said SinfulMeatStick. Please tell him. uh, uh,
Appreciate that. Yeah.
and they're right. They're right. That is a pretty bullish sign to me. Like you just mentioned, moving into a hacker house together with the Wallet Guard team, and just all individuals geared towards one goal, which is securing Web3.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. I never want to go back to Web 2. I eat, I sleep, I breathe wallet guard and cybersecurity. I'm here to help people. And I think my track record and everyone's track record on the team shows, we're all fully docs, we're all in the space, we're all degens, we're not just a bunch of
Hmm.
investors and VCs. Like we actually use the product that we're building. We
Hmm.
built the product to use it, and we built it during the bear market. We're not going anywhere. This is something that has changed our lives already. And when it comes down to it, also a big shout out to our strategic partners and our investors. Big names out there. We got Consensus, IOSG, Ethereal Ventures, MetaMask, Chainalysis. We were in Binance's incubator program. We were on Binance's first show in the metaverse. We're going to be on the Killer Whales TV show next month. I'm on the show representing Wallet Guard. I mean, can you get more bullish on Wallet Guard?
I am bullish. So a comment from Steve Sai. Wallet Guard looks dope. I will check it out now.
Let's
so
go.
and then Make from Inside Decentraland is asking, is Wallet Guard headed to ETH Denver?
We are going to be at ETH Denver. So make sure you catch us there. We're going to go with the whole team, I think, this year. We did it last year. We went with the whole team. So we're definitely going to try to hit it this year. I think ETH Denver and NFT NYC, we're going to be trying to hit first.
Oh dang. Okay. Redacted when Wallet Guard airdrop.
One wallet guard airdrop every single month, bro.
Every
Like just just check out the dashboard. We're giving away NFTs, we're doing different collaborations. Like I said, we did it with Neon Cat. Over 90,000 were minted. Just insane. It's all free value, and you're securing your wallet at the same time. It's a literal win-win.
Mm-hmm. So you had mentioned quickly like the team, all doxed, all passionate about what they do, and they're individuals that have been doing it for quite a while. What can you tell us about the rest of the team members, like individually?
Yeah, we all come from Fortune 500 companies. Omen Martin, the creators, they went to school with each other, and they actually had been in the financial fields and the cybersecurity fields. Same with Jacob and John. So we came from all over the world. Australia, California, Ohio, Florida, and we moved to one location to get this done. Um, so everybody on the team is insanely passionate. We're all here for one goal. And it's crazy to think that we've been living together for a year with no drama. Like that really shows how crazy the mindset is over here, that we actually care about building out this product and nothing else. I remember having roommates in the past, and you just get annoyed with people after a few weeks or a few months, and or people are OCD or they have their ways and stuff like that. But we're all here vibing, guys. Like we ain't going nowhere. So everybody on the team, I'm so blessed to have a team that actually cares, not about money, but about this technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is definitely a godsend here, especially in this space. It seems like there's a lot of disorganization in the space, but Wallet Guard seems to be like they seem to have their your ducks in a row in a way. Team solid. The product is definitely solid. uh,
Yeah.
so. My next question is for any projects that would like to collaborate or partner up with Wallet Guard, what is the best method to make it happen?
Definitely. So shoot me a DM. My DMs are open. This is my Twitter page that I have up here, Michael K .eth, Michael K DCL. There are a lot of fake Michael K profiles out there. Make sure you're following the right one. I have the official check as well as the official Wallet Guard logo on my Twitter profile. We're verified. The official Wallet Guard account is wallet_guard. You'll see that is verified officially as well with a gold check, over 50,000 followers. You're probably going to see a lot of mutual followers because I myself don't follow a lot of people, but almost 1,000 people I know mutually are following Wallet Guard. I think that's a good sign. So yeah, definitely shoot me a DM if you're a community, you're an NFT project, you're a wallet as a service provider, you're a DApp. Let's bring wallet safety to your community before people get rugged, before people get scammed. Let's get your community set up to be on top of their shit so that we talk about this so that situation doesn't happen. And it's all free. We do wallet safety sessions, we host Twitter spaces, we do live Discord security sessions, we show you live examples of social engineering and phishing and how to avoid them. And the main thing that we also love to do is we love to talk about Web 2 before you Web 3. A lot of people in Web 2 don't care about security. They don't even have the ability to manage their own passwords or even the concept of understanding the importance of an antivirus or an ad blocker. And we're expecting them to come into Web3 and be their own banks. That's a scary thought. So if we teach people about Web2 first, then they can Web3 safely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing in the Wallet Guard.
When you put it that way, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Look, hey, listen, look. I'm gonna put it this way, bro. You want to come into Web3? No antivirus, no ad blocker, no security, blind signing signatures, sitting there sweating and shaking, wondering if hitting confirm is going to lose your assets. Like, stop raw dogging the blockchain. Use Wallet Guard. That's it.
God, I love that. I love that saying. That's why I had to add it to my intro. When I heard you say that a few weeks ago on a space, I was like, damn, that one hit me. That one hit me on like the feels. Like that's some real shit right there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I gotta make it engaging, right? Like if I were to sit here and be like, well, we do like this encryption technology and we have this transaction, so people are gonna fucking fall asleep, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one cares. That's the point where that no one cares about. But look, even though we had this very engaging conversation, even though I showed you all these multiple tools in action, and the fact that it takes seconds to turn it on, 90% of the people still aren't going to do it. And they'll wait until they get drained, and then they'll message me and they'll say, yo, I need help. My wallet got drained, but I just got Wallet Guard, so I'm using it now. It's the exact opposite of what we should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
We need to change the sentiment of the space. We need people to realize that security is here and that it actually works. Let's do that together. It's a net positive. It's a win-win to recommend this to people and also to use it yourself. Why wait? Why think it's not going to happen to you? And then you're up the creek without a paddle, right? So this is why I do 500 Twitter spaces a month. This is why I love going to conferences and speaking on stage about wallet safety. And this is why I don't want anything in return except for you to get Wallet Guard so you don't hit me up later saying, I lost all my shit, help me.
It's
So,
too late then.
yeah, like I'll put it this way, guys. If someone were to come to me right now and say, yo, I'm taking all your stuff, taking all of your Web 2 assets, I'm taking all your Web 3 assets, I'm taking the clothes off of your back, you don't even have a bank account or a crypto wallet anymore, guess what I would be like? I would have a smile on my face because I think the most valuable thing in the entire world is knowledge. And I would stand on a street corner with a sign that says, ask me about crypto, ask me about blockchain. I don't want anything in return. And I would feel like I'm getting millions of dollars just because people are listening to me. That a lot of people can't say this.
Yep.
So, this is something that I really take to heart. I'm not just speaking to get you to, go and spend money. I'm not. Everything I've talked about, even all the solutions that we give are open source and free. It's literally a win for everybody. So when it comes down to it, it's not about the money for me. It's not about the assets, and it's not about anything. It's just a matter of people listening, and I will pay the cost to fly out to a conference, to get a room, to get to a stage where even if there's one person listening that I could drop one tip to, and it actually helps them in their process through Web3, it's worth it to me. It's worth it.
Definitely is worth it. So for any future projects that you may collaborate with, or maybe even someone that may hit you up to collaborate or partner up with Wallet Guard, are there any requirements that the project needs to meet to become eligible?
We do a little bit of vetting. Like there are so many scams out there that we can't just say, oh yeah, we'll work with you. Like we like to take a look at, what's your project like, what's your website, stuff like that. But there's rarely ever the time that we turn it down. So I'll give you an example. We do a once a month community post on Wallet Guard, and this is the one from last month. We're going to be doing the next one in I would say the beginning of next week, where we're also going to be including beyond the NFT and stuff like that. So we do this once a month community post. And just to give you a quick example, there's a couple of feature items. So Pudgy Penguins did GIFs with the Wallet Guard logo, so that's already in Tenor and in your GIF keyboard and all that stuff. So you could just do a search for Pudgy Security, and you'll see Wallet Guard right there alongside our Pudgies. We did our quarterly MetaMask State of Security space. As we are partnered with MetaMask, we do a space on the MetaMask account every single quarter where we give you the latest security practices and releases to look out for. We were at Art Basel. On the day of our event, sponsored at the Art House, we had over 300 people come and network and share information. Amazing engagement, beautiful event. We also did launch the DApp store, and we did have that collaboration with Neon Cat. But here's this area right here: community spaces, streams, and podcasts. Check it out. In just a few weeks, we did one with Gitcoin, with Bored Ape Yacht Club, with Shanice from Web3 Exposed, with Farouk from FOMO Hour, with Moby Media. We had Andrew Forte. We had the Decentraland community one that we did last month with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Elman X, Hex Mythica, Board in News, Reality Check, Rough Riders, the Hippie Life Crew NFT project, Wake and Blake Show. I mean, guys, we're here to work with you. This is unlimited value that we're bringing to communities, and all the spaces are recorded and we reference them inside of our monthly community posts so everyone knows that everything's in one place.
Mm-hmm. That is awesome, and holy crap, Wallet Guard is busy.
Yeah, we are definitely busy.
Hmm. So yeah, I had an alternative motive for that last question. Actually, it mainly
Yeah.
it was because we're here in the community building the Decentraland Discord. We're not necessarily an NFT project. We don't have any sales or make money or like. We're just a bunch of creatives and degens that just get together in this Discord and kind of just degen and try to make something that wasn't there.
Right.
Would community building Decentraland be eligible?
Oh, 100%. So we actually have this community deck. And I'll pull it up really quickly just to show you guys on the live stream here. So our community deck, we actually have multiple ways for us to incorporate with your community, and it's all free. So whether it is doing a Discord security workshop, or co-hosting a Twitter space, or putting a link to Wallet Guard on your website, or using anything from our branding kit, or using any content from our social channels, or incorporating us into your Discord onboarding flow by just a message about getting Wallet Guard, or even putting our threat updates channel from our Discord directly into your Discord so your users know whenever something gets compromised or hacked and what to look out for. So there's a ton of different ways that we work with communities. And again, it's all free.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I definitely want to have a Wallet Guard presence here in the CBD Discord. So I'll probably be checking in with the other admins and kind of be like, is this okay?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. I mean, I made it, so it's a no-brainer to me, but obviously I'm sure you guys could see the value.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, looks like we have a new question. Graphical. What does the honeypot checker work? How does the
Yeah,
honeypot
so
checker work?
yeah, definitely. So the way it works is a lot of times people get airdropped like random tokens, random NFTs. It looks like they have value behind them, or there's like an offer sitting on the NFT, even though it's not a real offer. These are honeypots. They're basically contract interactions that are going to hold your assets or steal your assets from you because you're interacting with that contract. So when you are in the security dashboard and you run a health scan on your wallet, there is an area to check for honeypots, and you'll see any assets in your wallet that you should never touch. Even if you want to burn them, you should never touch them because they could potentially cause you to risk your assets. So you might see something like this asset or this meme token has a 50% tax on it if you manage to sell it, aka you're actually going to spend more ETH trying to sell it than you would get from selling it. So the honeypot checker does a full breakdown on that directly in the security dashboard. Thankfully, in this wallet, I don't have any fake scam airdropped NFTs or meme tokens, but the honeypot checker will let you know if that is inside of your wallet.
Oh, I'm sure I have a long list of those honeypot NFTs. I see the offers all the time. I'm like, look at you trying to give me half an ETH for an NFT that
Yeah,
you sent me.
exactly. It's a but a lot of people fall for it. That's the unfortunate thing is because they don't know.
Hmm.
If you're bringing your friend into crypto, you think they're going to know everything we spoke about in the first day? Absolutely not.
There's just
That's why
so
it's so
much.
easy for scammers to take advantage of people. But that's why with Wallet Guard, scammers are fucked.
Hmm. Most definitely. Um, let's see. Let's see. If there are any more Wallet Guard questions that anyone would like to ask, just drop them in chats. I'm personally all out of the Wallet Guard questions and um, ready to move into our next segment. It's actually a fun one that you had created, Michael. That hacking video that you did like 3 weeks ago or so, I believe. Wait, I really wanted to pull that one up and kind of like, I know it's a minute long video, kind of show everyone, and and
Yeah. There's let me pull it up real quick. This is the process of scam baiting. It's basically scamming scammers. Um, so what I do, I've actually done this for many years. I don't recommend people just go out and do it because it's very risky. Um, Whenever I'm doing it, I'm actually implementing multiple layers of ways to protect myself, including using a virtual machine, using a VPN, making sure that I'm not directly interfacing with anything on my end, using a burner phone number. These are things that most people don't think about when they think it's fun to go scam baiting people, but
mhm.
it's actually very risky. So yeah, let me pull up that video real quick.
It's definitely a fun one. Me and Jairus have been like just chatting about it, like, oh my god, just loving it.
Yeah, here it is. Let me know if you could see it full screen when I go full screen here.
Yep, it's full screen.
Okay, cool. So yeah, this is like 7 years ago I did this one. As you can see, I'm using Windows 8. So let me press play here.
Someone, I think we got disconnected. They were gonna help me with my computer.
Okay, may I know what exactly the issue you were getting with your QuickBooks, sir?
So
Okay,
this is him
once
trying
again,
to, remote into my
right?
computer.
Yeah,
Um,
internet
Do one
explosion.
thing.
I'm acting like an old
I'm
person
giving you
using
the
a
code
very,
which you have to enter there,
old
sir.
person voice.
A file will be
Um,
downloading. You just
this
need
is
to
him
press
telling me to install the remote
install it.
software.
The issue is here.
Do you
Okay,
get in
there is
your
web
warning?
protection. Web protection is not
Yep,
working
that's a
right
fake
now. The
warning.
other computer, you have to follow the same procedure. Open up your browser.
So now he's like open up your other computer. So now what I do is I spin up another virtual machine on the same computer, of course.
Because he said he wasn't able to get in with the
And then this is where I convince him to give me his user ID instead of me giving him my ID because I'm an old person and I don't know what's happening. So this is me socially engineering a scammer. And then once he gives me
Okay,
his ID,
let's. Alright, let's do one. Let's
I
do
trick
one
him
thing.
into
Okay,
letting me
let's
into
do
his
it that way.
computer.
Okay, and let's see if
So that's me
that
being
works.
happy
Okay, give
about
me just 1 minute.
him giving me his ID number.
Enter the ID.
meeting session.
And then there we go. I'm connecting to his computer,
Let me have a look.
and bam,
your
I'm in his computer.
your reaction is priceless.
Yeah, I'm literally like, what the? So, it's funny that that's his wallpaper, considering he's a scammer with zero life skills and has no idea how to make money in the real world. But yeah, I'm in his computer, and I actually ended the video there. And I'll actually tell you guys what happened in this to be continued segment that I was going to do. Um, so after I got into his computer, what I always try to do is I try to download files on their computer as quickly as I can before they notice I'm in their computer. And the reason why I do that is because a lot of the files that they save to their computers, they actually have like customer information of people that they scammed, right? So they have like they keep people's credit card information, their driver's licenses and stuff like that. So I ended up copying a bunch of notepad files from his desktop over to my virtual machine desktop, and then he kicked me out of his machine and hung up the phone. But then I went through the notepad files. And when I went through the notepad files, there was about 12 or 13 people's information, including their home addresses, their credit card information,
Whoa.
the amount of money that they had scammed them for already, which was in the amount of thousands of dollars. So I'm looking at all this information. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to call all these people and warn them and make sure they know they're getting scammed. So I actually called every one of those numbers and left voicemails. And two of them ended up calling me back. They were two very, very nice old ladies. And after about 15 to 20 minutes of me explaining how I got their number and what exactly happened, I actually convinced them to stop paying the scammers because they were paying the scammers for nothing.
Hmm.
They had already lost like $2,000, one of them, and like over $3,000 for the other one. And they were thanking me up and down. I have that conversation recorded as well. But it's just a great feeling knowing that that I can scam scammers and save people. It's just like the best feeling in the world. Even though I'm not getting paid for it, I know that whenever I'm wasting time of a scammer over the phone, that's time that they can't be scamming somebody else
Hmm.
less fortunate than me.
Yeah, you're doing the Lord's work, Michael. You're doing the Lord's work. Question from Steve Sai. You just ran a scan with Wallet Guard on my drained MetaMask wallet, and the result was excellent health, 100%. But I know a bot running when I have funds. Oh, he knows that a bot was running when he has funds inside it. Is that normal?
So you got to make sure that he scanned the correct wallet. You might have multiple wallets inside of your MetaMask, and it's connected to by default another wallet. The other thing is that if it says excellent health, it's probably because there are no assets to revoke in that wallet since they were all stolen, aka there's nothing of value in the wallet to get stolen. So therefore, it's healthy.
Okay, okay. Steve, so yeah, make sure to check and see if it is the right wallet within that MetaMask
Yeah,
download.
for example, if you're in the dashboard. And let me just pull up here real quick. If you're in the dashboard and you go to the approvals area and there's nothing to revoke, your health score is going to be good because you don't have any assets at risk. Considering he has a wallet that got drained of all the assets, there's nothing of value in it. Therefore, nothing's at risk. I think that's the situation he's running into. Um,
All right. Yep. He says thanks, and it's the right wallet, 100%. Okay. Thank you for your question, Steve. And yeah, if you have any more, just keep typing them on Twitch. I have my eye
Yep.
on
And
it.
and just FYI, everybody, the phishing detection where we're blocking websites, that's blockchain agnostic. The transaction simulations that I showed you, that currently supports Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, and Optimism. And for the security dashboard, it currently only supports Ethereum. So we're adding more support for transaction simulation in the dashboard over time. But just to confirm, if you are running a wallet that doesn't have any Ethereum assets in it, it'll probably tell you it's in excellent health, even though you think on a different chain it's not. It's because we only support Ethereum currently inside of the dashboard.
Will there be any innovation with different blockchains coming soon?
Yeah. So we started off with only Ethereum. So like for example, the transaction simulation only did Ethereum. Now it does Polygon Matic, it does Arbitrum, it does Optimism. And the goal of Wallet Guard is to be blockchain agnostic and wallet agnostic. Again, Wallet Guard's not a wallet. You don't have to change anything. You're using your existing wallet. So, we're adding more support for more chains, more interoperability. The goal at the end of the day is Wallet Guard's your security layer, no matter what chain you're on, no matter what wallet you're using, no matter what device you're using.
Thank you, Steve, for your question. So going back to
And that
oh, go
also,
ahead.
just FYI, that's if you go to our website and go down to the FAQ section and you see what chains does Wallet Guard support, you'll see those 4 chains there, just in case.
Thank you, thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
So going back to kind of the video that you had just showed us, when you meet one of these, when you meet someone new, like, do you have a checklist, a personal checklist that you go through to identify that if someone is a scammer or not?
Yeah, like me personally, like if I'm getting a DM or something like that.
Yes, you personally.
Yeah. So I mean, there's tons of red flags. Do we have any mutual followers? How old is their account and how many tweets are there? A lot of old accounts get compromised and then the person deletes all their tweets and starts posting anew. So if it says the account was created in 2009 and they have 3 tweets, massive red flag. If they have no mutual followers in common, massive red flag. Um, even like looking in discords, right? There's a lot of fake NFT projects with Discord channels that say there's 100,000 users in it, but the user list on the right hand side has 40 people on it. Red flag. It's just a matter of keeping your eyes open. Making sure that you could tell, like, if the person's really legit or not. And I'll put it to you this way: 99.99999% of the time, if you're being told to click on the link, you're being told to open an attachment, you're being told to perform an action, it's a scam. So you were not chosen for an interview. You were not chosen to beta test a game. It's just, these things don't happen in real life. And if they did, they're not going to do it through a freaking Twitter DM. So it's not real. And I think that's really what it is. If you're not inciting the action, it's most likely a scam. So that goes for Web 2 as well. I'm sure a lot of our parents and grandparents have dealt with scammers in Web 2. So for example, they get a phone call from the IRS, from Microsoft, from Apple. They get a text message from Amazon, from FedEx, an email about a fraudulent bank charge from Chase. All of these scenarios are scenarios where they're telling you, or your parents or your grandparents, to click a link, to open an attachment, or download a file. So if you keep in mind that if any time you are being told to do something, it's most likely a scam, then you won't run into getting scammed. And that's a tip you should share with your friends and family. Because at the end of the day, if you did order something from Amazon and you did get a text message about your Amazon shipment, don't entertain the links from the supposed Amazon text message. Go directly to Amazon's website to check the shipment. If you get an email from your bank card about a fraudulent transaction, don't entertain the email supposedly from your bank. Go directly to your bank's website and check to see if there was a fraudulent transaction. This is the process of going to the source to confirm the message that you're getting is actually legit or not. And that could save a lot of people if we just shared that one simple tip with our family members.
Most definitely. Okay, I see a question from One Exist. I don't think I understand it because probably the context passed like 4 minutes ago. So I'm gonna invite One Existence up to kind of give us more context behind his question and ask it to you directly. Welcome, One Exist.
Thank you. Okay, so I have 2 questions on things that you were just talking about. On your video where you scam the scammers, did you warn them that there are cases where people will reach out to you knowing you had been scammed and try to scam you a second time? That's my only concern with that. I love the video. I think it's great. I wish more people would do stuff like that and get those. Like I said, I'd love an application that's a heat-seeking blockchain trailing missile that follows the hash and just blows their computer up or something. And my second one, well, go ahead and I'll ask my second.
No, like, can you reiterate? Did I warn them? Did I warn who?
the lady, the people that called you back?
Oh yeah, of course. I told them everything I told you guys, which is, hey, these people are not real. They're actually trying to scam. And the crazy part is that one of them didn't believe me in the beginning, and they were like, "Who the hell are you? Why are you calling me?" So like, just think about my feeling, right? Is that I just went into a scammer's computer, found your information, and I'm calling you up to help you. And you'd rather believe some random person over the phone that you've never met before that's asking you for thousands of dollars. Make it make sense to me, right? And this is something that is a problem in Web 2. And a lot of people sometimes don't even realize that their parents could actually actively be being scammed and they don't even know about it. There's scenarios where picture this, like our parents growing up our whole lives, they said, don't talk to strangers. Why is it that our parents are choosing to believe complete strangers that they've never met over the phone from some random place and handing them money? What happened to not talking to strangers, Ma? Right? So we have to bring it back and say to ourselves, like, there are defaults that we should employ, considering everything that everybody does in this world is pretty much technology based at this point. You can't really live in society without technology. You can't really run a business without technology. So if we employ some defaults, like how do you manage your passwords? How do you manage to remember passwords for hundreds of accounts and also make sure that they're all unique? It's not possible. You need a password manager. Let's show you the right one. Bam. Now you have a default moving forward. Anytime you create a new account, you use a password manager to create a strong, unique, randomly generated password. And that's how you can employ your first line of defense, which is your login information. And then your second line of defense, let's talk about the importance of never using your phone number as a two-factor method or recovery method for any account. Why? Because your phone number can be socially engineered. It can be SIM swapped by someone at your phone company getting scammed by a scammer trying to convince them that they're you. And once they have your phone number, they get into all your accounts. So why not eliminate the ability for you to get SIM swapped right now by going to your Twitter and removing your phone number, by going to your Gmail account, yes, your main Gmail account that you have all your other accounts under, and removing your phone number. Then you can never get SIM swapped. Why? Because your phone number is no longer part of your accounts. And what you should do is you should use a proper two-factor authentication method, which would be software or hardware-based two-factor authentication, like a Google Authenticator or a YubiKey. Now, with those two lines of defense, you have a strong, unique, randomly generated password, and you have a two-factor method that's not a phone number that could get SIM swapped, but an actual software or hardware-based two-factor authenticator. Your security, your OPSEC is now 100% ahead of everybody else in the space by employing those two simple measures. But guess what? People aren't going to do it until they get SIM swapped. People aren't going to do it until they get their account compromised. And that's okay. We'll wait. I'll wait. But I'm telling you right now, you can prevent it right now. And guess what? In the Wallet Guard Academy, we have an article that tells you exactly how to set up everything I just spoke about. Best security practices. Bam. Securing your assets. Properly managing your passwords. Using multi-factor authentication. Using an ad blocker. Using a VPN. An antivirus. And safeguarding your keys. You take one day to sit down and read this article and set your accounts up the right way. I guarantee you the next day, you're going to wake up knowing that your shit is locked down, that you don't have to worry about your accounts being compromised, about your Twitter page getting SIM swapped. And now you have a default moving forward. And now you can onboard people safely. Can I make it easier? Let me know.
Awesome. And the other question I had was in regards to Steve Tsai's question. Being it says it's 100% healthy, what if does that mean that wallet's okay if he puts something back in it now or no?
No. So right. The situation here's the thing. If you get your wallet drained, if you leak your seed phrase, if you sign an approval that you can't read, don't use that wallet anymore. It's already too far gone. You don't want to reuse a wallet that you've already compromised in the past. And the ability to create a new wallet is very simple. And this is one thing that's also very scary because people don't understand the difference between creating a new wallet and creating a new seed phrase that has new private keys underneath it. This is a scenario I've seen happen way too many times. I've seen people compromise their seed phrase. They're told to go create a new wallet, and they create a new wallet underneath the same compromised seed phrase, and then they get compromised again automatically because they don't understand the difference between a seed phrase and a private key. I'll put it in layman's terms. A seed phrase is like a bank, and a private key are all of the vaults inside of the bank. So if your seed phrase, aka the bank's front doors, get compromised, all of the vaults in it are compromised as well as any new vaults you put inside of it. So the process of creating a fresh wallet with a fresh seed phrase and new private keys underneath it is how you truly create a new wallet, not by going to your MetaMask and hitting create new wallet. You're creating a new wallet underneath the same old compromised seed phrase. Create a new browser instance, a separate browser profile. Every browser lets you do that anyway. And this way you can install a fresh instance of MetaMask, a fresh instance of Phantom, or whatever your preferred wallet is, to generate a brand new seed phrase that's not compromised in order to have wallets underneath it that are running anew, that haven't been compromised before. So I highly do not recommend interacting with wallets that have been drained in the past. They could have an MEV bot on it where it's looking every single second of every day to see if you move anything into it so that it can immediately rip it out. The only way to fix that is, let's say you have assets sitting in there that are worth something to you, and every time you move ETH into it, the ETH gets taken away. The only way around that is to basically sandwich 3 transactions into one to execute in a single block on chain, where the process of moving Ethereum into it and moving the asset out and the Ethereum back out is inside of one execution. But now we're getting very technical. So.
Thank you, Michael. Any more questions want to exist?
Nope. Thank you so much. I thought that was important though, because that's kind of pretty much what I figured. But is there a way for it? Because like, what if you forget though that it was a compromised wallet and WalletGuard says it's 100% or that it's 100% healthy?
If you forget that a wallet you're actively using is compromised?
Let's say it can happen. Because if anything can happen in any time, just FYI.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, here's the thing. The score is calculated based on your on-chain approvals, right? So again, if there's nothing in the wallet because it was compromised and everything got ripped out, that's impossible for us to know because of the fact that there's nothing there. So we can't reference any on-chain data for that at that point in time that you scanned your wallet. So look, if you do get your wallet compromised, we got an article for that, right? Which is, I just got drained, what do I do? And one of the steps here, so that you don't compromise yourself again, is to not use that wallet, right? Make a separate wallet, make a separate instance, so you're not accidentally going into that wallet and using it again in the future. Otherwise, you're going to have a million different wallets everywhere. You're not even going to know which one's legit or not. And then if you're running a security scan, everything got ripped out of it, you're going to get a clean health score, which isn't really true because there's no assets in it, but we can't tell that because of the fact that there's no assets in it, right? So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the main part about WalletGuard though is before the security dashboard even comes into play, it would have protected him from getting his wallet drained in the first place because it would have blocked the wallet drainer kit. It would have shown in the transaction simulation that he's actually sending out his assets and not receiving anything in return. So, that's really the main line of defense is the actual transaction simulation and the phishing detection. The actual wallet maintenance and cleanup and stuff like that, updating your extensions, revoking approvals are for that point in time. So if it's happened in the past, those assets don't no longer exist there. So I hope that makes sense.
Oh, it does. And I'll admit this. I actually had a couple things I lost because of the fact that I wasn't paying attention and I continuously ignored WalletGuard. So if you have it, don't ignore it.
Yeah, definitely don't ignore it. We actually put a couple of more metrics. You actually have to hit continue twice if it's something that we deem malicious. So that it'll say like continue anyway, continue. Okay, now you can continue. Um, so there's a reason why we're stopping you multiple times. It's not because we want to like get in the way of your degenning. It's because we're literally trying to stop you from doing something that you shouldn't be doing. But then again, at the end of the day, it's up to the user. So nothing's 100% secure, but at least we're trying to get you to the point where you could be as close to 100% as possible.
Love it. I love it. Thank you, One Exist, for coming up and asking your questions. Let's see. We have about maybe 10 minutes left here for Beyond the NFT. Before we move over to to enjoy some RuPaul's Drag Race here at DollHouse. So I guess I can kind of go into my funny question and then go into my outro questions. How do you feel about that,
Yeah.
Michael? Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Funny question. I personally get, many malicious messages on multiple platforms. Do you have a hotline where I could refer these scammers to?
Do I personally? I wish I could stop time and just scam them all day, right? My best word of advice, because people see what I do, and then I also see people trying to like do it in person, and when they get phone calls, they try to mess with the person over the phone.
Mhm.
I'm not doing that on my real number, guys. You got to understand, if you're getting a scammer calling your phone, if your parents are getting a scammer calling your phone, their phones, and they're picking up and they're entertaining it and they're like, messing around with them, guess what that scammer is doing after they hang the phone up? They're taking your phone number and they're saying, this is a real number with a live person behind it. I'm going to submit it to 1,000 more scam lists. And then your parents don't stop getting scam calls.
Yep.
That's how it happens.
Eventually,
So,
one hits too.
what's up?
Eventually, one of those scam emails or text messages or calls could
Yeah, something's
hit.
gonna hit. Yeah, and I'm never using my real email. I'm never using my real phone number to mess with scammers. So, I would say your best bet anytime you do get a message or you do get a phone call or an email is to completely ignore it. That's like the safest thing that I could tell you to do, honestly.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. And so, for beginning of my outro questions, it became apparent to everyone that has been here at the Dollhouse, listening here on Discord and all streaming platforms, that you really do have a passion for cybersecurity. Could you share with us what drives this passion? Was it something that happened to you or a friend? What is the source to your passion for cybersecurity?
Yeah, definitely a great question. So, when I was younger, I started messing around with computers like around 10 years old, and I started also seeing that a lot of people would ask me questions like, oh, how do I do this, or is this safe, and stuff like that. And the questions were kind of the same all the time, like, what software should I use, what do I do here, how do I secure myself? So one of the first businesses that I started was actually configuring devices the right way out of the box. So let's say you get a brand new Windows computer. 99% of the time, all Windows computers, especially from name brands, they just come with a bunch of free trials, crap you're never going to use, constantly running in the background, nagging you to do updates, telling you to get an antivirus, to run a virus scan, slows down over time naturally. Like, they're just a mess. They're not set up for productivity. They're not set up for speed. So what I did was I created a custom environment that was on top of Windows, still following the EULA from Windows, that basically set the computer up the right way. So instead of me answering all these questions and taking hours to set up people's computers, I actually created an image, a script, that within minutes would set your computer up perfectly, where you never have to deal with bloatware. You don't have to deal with constantly updating crap. You don't have to deal with worrying about running virus scans. And you could just focus on enjoying using your computer. So, I started that very young, and ended up merging that into a larger company, deploying that setup to over 15,000 computers. And then taking that same mentality and coming into Web3, it's like if we could set things up the right way for people, I get enjoyment out of seeing them using the product and actually, getting value out of it. So I just like to make things easier. I like simplifying things for users, making it user friendly. I'm really big on UI and UX. So, just creating an environment that people use and enjoy. I get value out of, even though there's no money involved.
Hmm. That's awesome. Let's see. Besides Wallet Guard, what are some quick security tips that you can share with everyone tonight?
Yeah, definitely. So most of the tips I'm going to share are in the article called Best Security Practices. So this is focused on Web 2 primarily because 90% of the scams that we see happen because of people not managing their Web 2 the right way. So using a password manager, super, super important. It's not practical to use the same password for everything. It's also not practical to have to remember all your passwords. So the only way around that in today's day and age is by using a password manager, but by using the right password manager. LastPass, which I'm sure some of you have heard of, has been compromised multiple times. People have saved their seed phrases and their private keys inside of what they thought was a secure vault in their LastPass, and those got compromised as well. So LastPass, if you're still using it, highly recommend switching. The one that we recommend, it's called Bitwarden. It's open source, it's free, and it allows you to self-host your credentials, meaning the only attack variable is yourself. You're not sitting with your credentials on a third-party server like LastPass. You're actually hosting your own credentials, and you're the only person that has access to them. So using a password manager for strong, unique, randomly generated passwords, super important. Second line of defense, like we spoke about, multi-factor authentication. I actually go down and break it down like in depth here on why it's important, but the goal is don't use a phone number for multi-factor. Use Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, or a YubiKey, so that's your second line of defense on top of a strong password. The next thing you can do, by the way, this is all free. The Bitwarden, the password manager, is free. The two-factor authenticator, Authy, Google Authenticator, that's free. The ad blocker that I recommend, uBlock Origin, is also free. These are easy wins that take seconds to enable. And the reason why I recommend an ad blocker is because anytime that you're doing a search on Google, on Bing, the first results are not the real results. They're fake sponsored ads, and they make it very hard to tell that they're sponsored ads. They usually lead to scams and wallet drainers and Trojans and malware. So why even worry about accidentally clicking on them when you could just get an ad blocker like uBlock Origin and it stops them from showing up in the first place? Mm-hmm. That's also an easy tool that I recommend you throw on your parents' computers. Think about how many Google searches your parents are doing on a daily basis and constantly probably clicking on the wrong freaking result.
Yep.
Because they can't tell it's a sponsored ad. Please, guys, it takes 2 seconds to do this stuff in this article. Please. It's going to literally help you a world of stress and a world of scams that just don't need to be there. Mm-hmm. Next thing we talk about is a VPN, the importance of a VPN and the fact that it's not an antivirus, that you need both a VPN and an antivirus. And the one that we recommend when it comes to an antivirus is Malwarebytes. And the fact that you should have the premium version. This is really the only thing that's going to cost you that insane amount of $20 in order to protect your Web 2 devices. So it's all here. We also talk about how to safeguard your keys, where to save your seed phrases, where to save your backup codes. Obviously, not in a digital format. And yes, text message is digital. Emailing it to yourself is digital. Taking a screenshot of it is digital. Saving it in a password protected Excel document is digital. Saving it in your password vault is digital. We talked to you about the importance of not saving it digitally. I can't say it again. I'll still say it and you'll still do it anyway, but please don't do it. So everything's here in one place. We really try to break it down. Best security practices. You read this document, you're going to feel so much better moving forward. Those are the tips that I could give.
Okay, could you take the link to that article and share it in the comments here for the stage chat, just in case Floating Spaces would like to take a look at it, or anyone that's listening? Thank you. And then Floating spaces. This is gonna sound silly, but do Mac users also have malware bytes? Or is it?
Yes, Malwarebytes is actually made for all operating systems, all devices. I have it on my laptop, my desktop, my smartphone. I actually have every tool that I recommend here on all of my devices. I'm not using 3 different antiviruses. I'm not using 5 different backup programs. I'm not using 3 different authenticators and 7 different browsers. I'm using what works. And there's one password manager, one authenticator, one antivirus, keeping it simple. The last thing I want to do when I use my devices is sift through a bunch of applications and 10,000 unread notifications on shit to do. This is why it's important to audit your own devices at least once a year. Take a second to ask yourself, when's the last time you went through your browser extensions that you have enabled? When's the last time you went through all the apps on your smartphone that you've installed that are made by third parties running in the background, sitting there doing God knows what? When's the last time you went through the add remove programs area on your Mac or your PC and got rid of these pieces of software that you're not using that are made by third parties that could potentially have security exploits on it? I take my digital environments and I set them up like I do my physical environments. For example, I have a very organized, clean house. I know exactly what's in it. Same thing on my smartphone. I know the exact apps that are installed on it. This way, if anything changes, if something malicious gets in, if something new is installed, I know immediately and how to mitigate it. And I'll use the house as an example. Let's say you walk into your house and you see a brand new couch out of nowhere in your living room. Are you just going to continue living in the house and not questioning how that new couch got there or who put it there? Absolutely not. You're going to be like, who the fuck put this here? Same concept of your digital lifestyle. Audit your devices. Understand what device you're holding in your hand on a day-to-day basis and ask yourself, do I really need 10 pages of apps when I'm only using 1 page of these? I can get rid of all this other crap. It's sitting there using space, using battery life, nagging me with notifications. When I look at my phone, when I wake up in the morning and I look at my phone, the only emails in my inbox are real emails that actually matter, that need my responses. I don't get any spam. I don't have unread messages in Discord. I don't have unread messages on Twitter. I don't have 10,000 unread emails in my inbox. I don't have a full voicemail. How could you be productive if your lifestyle, your digital lifestyle is in such a mess? We can change that if we just audit ourselves and set things up the right way.
Powerful words, powerful words. And thank you for the tips, Michael. Final 2 questions that I have. Let's see, where is it? Oh, for anyone wanting to reach you, what is the best way to contact you?
On my Twitter page. So michaelk.eth, michaelkdcl, that is my handle. You could shoot me a DM. My DMs are always open. I try to get back to people as quickly as I can. If you do message the Wallet Guard account, they're probably going to just point you to talk to me. As I'm the partnership director, I try to just handle all those incoming inquiries. Here's a little snippet of me on the Killer Whale Show, by the way, talking about how much money we saved. So that's coming soon.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna be good stuff. But yeah, my Twitter page, michaelk.eth, michaelkdcl. Make sure you're following the right one, messaging the right one. There are a lot of fake Michael K accounts. As you can see, if you type michaelk.eth, look, there's just a giant list of fake Michael Ks.
Bro,
So
you're
make sure you're
famous.
following the right one. Yeah. That's an overstatement there, but yeah.
I mean, I always like to consider everyone that, whenever you have bot accounts being made of you in Web3, you're Web3 famous.
It's a good measure, right?
Yeah, right. And so, okay, best way to contact you, Michael K DCL on Twitter. And do you have any final words for everyone here listening tonight?
Definitely. First thing I want to say is, again, thank you for the stage. Thank you for everybody that came and stuck around and listened to this. And also the future listeners, as I know this is recorded and people could listen back later on to grab this security alpha. But what I want to say is, if you're not using Wallet Guard yet, please do your own research on Wallet Guard. Type Wallet Guard into Twitter, see what people are saying. Check out our open source repos on GitHub, see who we're partnered with, all of the massive changes that we're doing, our user base, our strategic partners. I mean, like, literally, I guarantee you there's no excuse for you to not use Wallet Guard. We're really trying to be transparent. We're really trying to take this to the next level. And to think that 3 years ago I hated NFTs, and now I'm in a product that literally protects people's NFTs and tokens is just crazy. It's like a dream come true.
You,
So
you found your home.
I'm here. Yeah, literally found my home. So look, I'm here. My DMs are open. I want to help you guys out. I want to point you in the right direction. No question is a stupid question. And even if you're not choosing to use Wallet Guard, please, 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 at least when you're onboarding people into the space, just mention security in some facet, even if it's a simple statement like read what you're clicking on before you click it.
Mhm.
Please.
Yes, very
That's all I can
important.
say.
Very, very important because like if you're onboarding someone into Web3 and not mentioning like the dark side of things, the potential of getting drained, you're kind of doing them a disservice there at that point.
Yeah, literally setting them up for failure. I mean, like they're just not going to know that all these scams run rampant. So if
Mhm.
we could show people and kind of like point them in the right direction, like I said, even if it's not Wallet Guard, it just makes me feel better knowing that you're actually mentioning security in some facet. So,
Mhm.
I'm here. Wallet Guard's here. We're not going anywhere. Don't raw dog the blockchain. Use Wallet Guard. Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you, Michael, for your time. It's been an awesome 2 hours just learning about Wallet Guard, learning about you and what you do in the space, and kind of you sharing your expertise on safety in general, whether if it's like Web 2 safety and Web 3 safety. Um, Let's see. Oh, okay. I'll ask the final question. Last question. Working on Google Chrome as an extension, not on Brave or Firefox, I think. What? I don't. I'm not seeing the question. The
Oh no. So currently we support Brave, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Opera, and any Chromium-based browsers. We currently do not support Firefox, but the MetaMask Snap, which is directly in your MetaMask, if you're using Firefox, does work.
Okay. Okay. So hopefully that answered your question. Steve.
And so does the security dashboard, by the way. The security dashboard is just a website that's mobile friendly as well. So you could pull that up on any browser, any device. You just go to dashboard.walletguard.app.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. It looks like it did help, Steve. Well, yeah, thank you, Michael, for being here tonight. I'm happy I managed to get you to log into Decentraland for a little bit tonight. Hopefully, you come back and visit.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Actually loaded it up on my new laptop here, and what the hell is Dr. Green Thumb doing?
Let's take a look.
What move is that? What is he doing right now?
That is the Anku's, or either the Anku or Dapcraft's custom emote. Now we could purchase custom emotes in the marketplace, and that is one of, I think it's considered an emote 2.0, where you could materialize like stuff and have them animate with you.
That's fucking hilarious. I love that. I love that. Looks good, Dr. Green Thumb. Looking real nice up there. I saw a kid called Make. Appreciate you, man, taking all the tips. Everybody that listened, really appreciate you guys for jumping in and vibing. And, let's do a follow-up session in a few months from now. I think it'll be crazy to see how much we've grown and where we're at. I think it'll be a lot of value we could bring.
Yes, yes, for sure. Let's
Now Mods is doing it. That's hilarious. This is the funniest thing ever.
yeah, and I don't know if you see CK over there in the back, in their martini glass.
And then Steve, yeah, and then CK, and then Steve's doing.
Yep, these
Steve
emotes are getting
Seiko's
wild.
This looks hilarious.
They're getting wild for sure. And yeah, let's follow up in a few months. Definitely we'll get you back on Beyond the NFT. Today's conversation has been very informative, and actually very, very needed, because I know you have been around in the last like few months, and there has been an increase in malicious activity within our space. So it's very important to keep us all safe.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm happy that you know, that like people want to listen. Like this was a great turnout. I mean, 30 people on the stage in Decentraland at the same time. Then you got your your other streams running, and then we got the Discord channel going. Like this is amazing. I love it. I love it. Really, really big shout out to you for putting this together.
Yes, this has been a great turnout, and once again, I'm gonna show some flowers, or give some flowers to One Exist for helping me get the word out about today's event. Uh, thank you, dude.
Definitely. We'll catch you guys soon.
Yes, sir. And on that note, yeah, everyone just stand by here at the Dollhouse, and we will begin our stream of RuPaul's Drag Race. Um, Very excited to see if CK's nails have any features tonight. We'll see. We'll see. I'm very excited. And yeah, thank you.
You guys enjoy that. I got to get back to wallet guarding, but yeah, definitely shoot me the links once you have it, bro. Would love to distribute this session that we did together, and you know, throw it in our community collab post that we're going to be doing next week. So
Hmm. Yep, I could probably do that for you in the next couple of hours once the video processes in on YouTube, and yeah, I can get it over to you. Thank you, Michael, once again, and looking forward to seeing how community building Decentraland and Wallet Guard can work together in the future.
for sure, for sure. Until next time.
Until next
Okay.
time. And yeah, everyone stand by. I'm going to raid some streams and get the stream started. Thank you, everyone, and please stand by.